Twitch, and Facebook gaming, and all of the social media sites, well, the key is the process we're about to outline in just a moment. And this is going to help you get from that place where you're getting like 0 viewers or just a handful of viewers or 100 or so views per video to breaking out into the thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands when you can find that little piece of the internet where there's interest out there, but nobody has tapped into it yet. That is your golden ticket to being able to finally build your audience and finally see that true path to doing what you love for a living, creating content. Let's go. Cast is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster using Restream.io? Ross, there's your beautiful face on the screen. Ross, we're going to use you as an example today of discovering what niche you like and what things you are interested in and going through the research process with you. Everybody can follow along, and this is the process they can use to find their niche. Are you ready, Ross?
I am so ready.
Wonderful. Okay, Ross, tell us what you're interested in, and we are going to go to Google Trends, and we're going to type in the things that you are interested in to see whether there is interest in those things on the internet as our first step in our journey to finding your niche. Are you ready? Don't tell us the weird stuff. Don't tell us the weird stuff. Tell us the good stuff.
Oh, well, now I got to think it over. There goes the show. No, let's start with comic book history.
All right, so I don't know. You could type in comic book history here. This is going real niche here. So you see how he didn't say Marvel Comics or something gigantic. He's going really niche here. Comic book history. Tell us other things that you're interested in. Audience, write this down. This is the process you should be going through to find your niche so you can break through. What other things are you interested in, Ross?
Outside of that, obviously, just the generic, not niche, just gaming, sports gaming, if we need to go a little more niche on that.
Sports gaming. Interesting.
Sports gaming, yeah.
All right, press that button. And then give us one third topic that is not Among Us that you're interested in, other than these two other topics. Obviously, you love comic books, you love sports gaming. Is there anything kind of maybe a layer deeper than these? Do you have a favorite comic book character, a favorite sports gaming thing?
Oh, yeah. Let's do Aquaman.
Aquaman. Ooh, I like that one.
There we go.
Yeah, Aquaman. Okay, so now that we've typed those into Google Trends, and audience, this is what you can do as well. Thank you, Andrew Perrin, for doing all the typing for us. We can look and see where is their interest, and we're looking in the United States because that's where Ross is, to see if there's web interest here in these topics. Clearly, Aquaman is the topic that's really breaking through here. So can you change us over from web search to YouTube search, Andrew Perrin, as we try to discover a niche for our friend and for everybody out here in the audience? Oh my goodness, look at that. Aquaman spiked here recently. Do you have the knowledge, Ross, on why Aquaman spiked right there in terms of YouTube search?
What is the date on that? I can't see.
Looks like it'd be the end of June, in the middle of July, probably somewhere around.
That's probably around, I would say that's probably around the time they started talking about the Aquaman movie sequel.
Beautiful. So you already have knowledge on the subject, which is great. Audience, this is your first step. Type in the things that you really love into Google Trends. Andrew Perrin just highlighted the fields that you want to do. You want to select your location. We do United States. You can also do worldwide if you want to see what the global interest is in your topic. You want to select the last 12 months at least to see how it's been trending over time. Leave it on all categories. And of course, narrowing down to YouTube search lets you know whether people are searching for video content on that topic. Great. All of you guys have done that on your own, right? As you're watching the podcast, great. Now we're going to move into step 2, which is which one of these topics looks the most promising? Andrew Perrin, which one looks the most promising in your opinion?
I mean, Aquaman is the only one that's even close to having some search that isn't a complete flat line. So let's go with that one because there's no search interest to the other ones. And they're two, when we're looking for a niche is the opposite of general, like a general thing. So comic book history is too general. Sports gaming is too general. If we can boil those down to like a very specific topic, maybe. But let's just go with Aquaman here.
Yeah, let's go with Aquaman.
Since we've had something here.
Yeah.
And let's take it over to the keyword explorer. And this is a TubeBuddy tool that we use to find great titles for videos that could work for search on YouTube. So Ross, what's a help us here, like put together maybe.
Well, why don't we just
idea?
start with Aquaman? You want to just start with Aquaman and then dive a level deeper with Aquaman using the tool? By the way, I posted a link to TubeBuddy. It's my affiliate link. Uh-oh. Rot-row.
Search results aren't available. TubeBuddy is broken.
No, it's okay. It's still pulled up the results on the right there. We can still look at them. Under videos, it already pulled up video searches and probably web searches and video topics. They're already there. I don't know. It's just being weird. I posted a link to TubeBuddy in chat. And the question here, really quick before we dive into this, they're asking, why don't we do worldwide on Google Trends? Perrin, why don't we do worldwide on Google Trends versus doing United States?
Well, you should target a location where you want an audience demographic. So since Ross, I know he lives in the United States, I know he's going to want to have US viewership because they match his time zone, they match his spoken language, and they're likely to support him as a creator financially much better because the US dollar has some power. You would do worldwide, you still would likely never do unless you want to get an idea internationally where your topic might have traction because you're looking for an audience somewhere outside of the United States. Like, let's say you're looking for an audience in Europe and you want to see what's available over there. Well, then you want to search that specifically. For me, the only time I dive outside of the US is I'm looking at Mobile Legends, which primarily has viewership in the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Eastern Asian island territories. So I'm going to be looking over there specifically. I already know that, though, from doing research. So do your research on who already likes that trend and target where you want to grow an audience. So we're going to assume for this example, Aquaman is primarily probably born US. There's a lot going on with Hollywood with him, which is in the US.
Right.
So let's keep it US for this one.
Yeah, and probably the reason why the Keyword Explorer isn't working is because you're logged into your YouTube channel rather than ours. So I have TubeBuddy Legend on mine. If you wanted to switch accounts, we could do that. It doesn't matter, though. It's up to you. All right.
I would need your login for that too, buddy. I can show you. It won't work.
Okay, we'll just use yours. Go ahead and go back to it. So let's go ahead and use Asheral's TubeBuddy. And we're going to go through Aquaman. And we're going to take a look at Aquaman and see how we can use the tool to find what people are searching for. So as you can see, there are various searches here, including Aquaman. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. Aquaman trailer reaction, trailer music, trailer Fortnite, trailer 2, that are popping up as big video searches for Aquaman right now, Ross. Are any of those things inspiring you in terms of being able to make video content about that topic?
You know what? In the spirit of gaming, let's do the Aquaman Fortnite. Let's take, which by the way, that actually came out in like June, July as well. So that could be another reason for that boost and why we're seeing it here.
Got it. So Aquaman Fortnite. So as you can see, we went from the main key term Aquaman to the sub-term Aquaman Fortnite. So it's a niche within a niche within a niche now. And now TubeBuddy is giving us the top video searches that you can see here in the video search section for the Aquaman Fortnite niche. Unfortunately, it's not pulling up the scores because it's broken for no reason. But this would give you what people are actually searching for related to Aquaman Fortnite, which can give you inspiration to make your own videos. Then if you move over to web searches, you want to compare the video searches that you see here. If you click the web searches tab there, Perrin, you want to compare the video searches to the web searches and see if there's crossovers so that you can get both YouTube search and Google search for the content that you're making. And it appears that Aquaman Fortnite Boss and Aquaman Fortnite Challenges are two of the big topics. So then your third stop I wouldn't click any of those. Your third stop here would be to go to Video Topics, the last tab here. And then you want to look at and see, it'll give you ideas of videos that you could potentially make using the things that they're already searching for. So it starts with video searches, then web searches, and then it moves over to video topics. And then basically, we know that Aquaman challenges are big in Fortnite, so I would click the how to do Aquaman challenges in Fortnite item there under the video topics list and just see how that scores. Now, normally, if TubeBuddy were working, it would give you a score for it, but unfortunately, it broke right before this video, so that shit isn't working right now.
I'm signed into Digital Drops too now, and it's also broken on my end. So.
It was broken last night.
Thanks, TubeBuddy. Yeah. But let's just go with the idea here that you clicked that niche topic, This is just a research tool. We're trying to teach you the strategy of how to find your niche. You click the how to do an Aquaman challenge in Fortnite, and it'll give you a score, right? And you want to look at things that obviously have a low supply, but have a high demand on YouTube. That's how you find topics that you can break through on. And there are other tools out there that aren't TubeBuddy as well that can help you find these things. And so now that you have found a topic, you have found a niche, Aquaman, and a niche within that niche, Aquaman and Fortnite, and you now have a video idea that you can break through on, potentially on YouTube, you now go record the video and release it on YouTube and see how it performs. And you rinse and repeat with this process over and over and over again until you find something that ends up being your winner chicken dinner. Now, how many times are you going to have to do this until you find a winner? Ross, we've done recent episodes on this, but it can take a considerably long time. And a lot of people tell us in chat, like, I did the research, TubeBuddy gave me a good score, how come I didn't get views? I don't think that's a realistic expectation, right?
No, it's not at all. We actually had another question about that similar to today, is how can you actually trust TubeBuddy's search volume? Is their search volume estimated? It's not real, correct? So it's going to just kind of give you a general idea, but obviously not a guarantee.
Sure. So none of these things are like, who cares if it's exactly right? That's not the point of the tool. Like, is it really going to bust your balls if it has like, if it says 25,000 versus 15,000? Are you going to be like, you broke my YouTube career, TubeBuddy? Like, that's not the point of the tool. The point of the tool is to give you a general idea of, is this a topic that anybody is searching for and there is some interest for? Okay, if it is, then it'll tell you. If it's something that nobody's searching for, it'll tell you. And if it's something that has massive competition, it'll tell you. And if it's something that has almost no competition, it'll tell you. It doesn't really matter if it's like a 3 out of 10 versus a 5 out of 10 in terms of competition. It doesn't matter whether it's 10,000 monthly searches versus 25,000. Who cares? The point is, it's trying to point you in the right direction of a niche that you could go cover or a topic that you could cover. And it helps you validate your ideas and, most importantly, eliminate bad ideas. You want to use the tool to help eliminate bad ideas that have no audience or have insanely high competition as you're trying to break through. That's all the tool does, and that's all any tool does. Google Trends is the same thing. Google Trends only tells you how popular things are relative to other things. Are you gonna stop using Google Trends because it gave something a 70 versus an 85? Who cares? It just tells you relative to other things which one is more popular to help point you in the right direction. There is no tool that can just magically tell you what videos will break through. That's on you to experiment to figure it out. And we've got a number of examples that we want to show you of real channels that we've worked with or built ourselves or our buddies of the show that we want to show you how they discovered their niche over time and what process they went through. You guys ready to do that?
Yeah.
Great question, by the way. So yeah, no tool, you should never rely completely on the numbers of any tool, TubeBuddy, Morning Fame, vidIQ, Viso Catalyst, whatever it may be. So here's TGN, a channel that we used to work for TGN and we built from scratch as a company. And this channel has gone through many, many iterations. And it has covered many, many games over time. I think the total number of videos and it's over 1.3 million subscribers, which is great. And it has covered, I think, something like 40 or 50 games over time. So if you click the sort, so today, before we click sort by, today, the channel is covering Cyberpunk 2077, and it is covering Overwatch primarily. But as you can see, it uses the 80-20 rule that we talk about. 80% of the content on this channel is Overwatch, but about 20%-ish is not Overwatch and its other games. The complete history and lore of Resident Evil, Gears of War complete history and lore, etc. But the vast majority of the content here is Overwatch because that's the bread and butter of the channel. And so the reason why the channel does this is because it is the longest surviving network channel for gaming on the internet. And it's because of the method that we're telling you right now, this research method and the finding your niche method, that this channel has survived for 8 or 9 years. Whereas every other business like it went out of business. Machinima went out of business. Fullscreen went out of business. Maker Studios went out of business. The Game Station went out of business. All of them went out of business. But TGN, this channel, stayed up and running because it constantly found its own niche and refound its own niche over and over and over again. So if you go to the top, Perrin, and you go to sort by for this channel, we want to use this as an example. Feel free to look at it. Go do oldest videos. If we look at oldest videos, 9 years ago, this channel was covering Terra. It was doing gaming news and gaming gear review videos. There's our boy William Donaldson on there. Just keep scrolling down and down and down. Eventually, you'll see videos with AWOL on the channel a long time ago, Rift. And as you can see, this channel has changed what it was covering over time based on what was popular at that time. It switched to Star Wars The Old Republic. There we go. There's some of our videos, Andrew Perrin, that are probably on the channel there from 8 or 9 years ago. And it did Minecraft videos, and it changed over time. And the reason why this channel survived is we invented this research method that we're telling all of you guys about right now and implemented it on TGN and re-implemented it over and over and over again. And this channel thrived over time. There's Rurikon from 9 years ago, the big YouTuber we always talk about today. He was doing Prius online. Ever heard of that? Probably not. And so the channel constantly switched between these niches over time. It constantly did its research. It constantly tested new games. And eventually it got over 1 million subscribers. And it is a sustainable business that has supported dozens and dozens of creators over time to create the content that they love. This is an example for you guys to take to heart. Your channel cannot stay in one niche indefinitely. It needs to change niches over time. And so by using the 80-20 rule, you can survive. That's 80% whatever type of content is performing the best, and 20% new types of content to constantly experiment. TGN is a great example of a channel that switched between 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100 topics over time, who knows, and remained a profitable business that's made, I can't disclose how much money, but a lot of money. Okay? So any other comments on TGN, guys?
No, let's go over to Tom Nash, because I know Tom recently found his niche, and this is really interesting to me. The one that he found, I think we've a lot we can say about it here.
Great. Go ahead. So today, Tom Nash is doing financial news and daily events videos, and it looks like forever he was always doing these kinds of videos when you arrive at his channel, right? And that's something that all of you guys should keep in mind. Whenever you go to somebody's channel, you think that that's what their channel has always been about, and you will think that that's how they got where they are today. But that's not necessarily the case. And if you sort Tom Nash's videos by oldest, he might have unlisted them. I don't know. No, there they are. 2 years ago, he was doing YouTube advice videos, getting 800 views on some of them, a couple thousand if you keep scrolling. Oh, it looks like he unlisted almost all of his videos, it looks like. And then he kind of, yeah, it looks like he unlisted almost all of his videos before he switched. So he had a ton of videos on his channel prior to what you see today that were YouTube advice videos that were getting a couple hundred views, maybe 1,000 views a pop. And then he started experimenting and using his background as a financial analyst to take a look at current financial events, to take a look at publicly traded companies like Tesla and like Nikola, and look at these big money gurus like Dan Blitzerian and what have you, and really analyze them from an expert's perspective as a former financial analyst. And now that he's doing that, look at how his channel blew up, dude. He just released these 2 videos on Dan Blitzerian, and it got 350,000 views 5 days ago, 142,000 views 23 hours ago. This was a guy doing YouTube advice content like we're doing, getting hundreds of views, and now he found his niche because he constantly experimented, and now he's doubling down on financial analysis and guru busting. Now, if you go to his channel, it looks like he's some kind of big shot YouTuber. He wasn't, guys. He was just a regular channel, a regular person just like you that was struggling to get views on YouTube, struggling to break through with his audience, but he pushed through with hundreds of videos, back to back to back to back videos that didn't get much traction till he finally found his niche. I mean, we've interviewed Tom on the channel here. Do you guys have any comments to make on Tom Nash?
I mean, here's a difference. I mean, when you see, I think the question is like, when do you know if you've found a niche? And Tom is a great example because you can literally see the difference here. Look, and these aren't like flash in the pan, random views or videos that went viral. We've talked about going viral in past episodes. That's not, you can see clearly that that's not what's going on here. Clearly, he found something that just gets far, far, far more views than everything else he's tried. And when he keeps doing it, he keeps getting those increased views. That's when you know you've stumbled onto something that's going to work for you. Is when you do it, it blows up, and when you keep doing it, it just keeps blowing up. It's not a one and done thing. So I'm really happy that he found this because it's like the perfect clear example of when to know whether or not you found that niche that's your niche. Because I've run into this multiple times where I think I found a niche and I'm like kind of starting to blow up, but then it plateaus and it's just like a flat line and I'm not really like growing very much off it. I'm like, no, that's not actually a niche. It's just a little bit more successful than the last thing I was trying. It's a little bit better search than the last thing I was trying, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but it's not, you haven't found like the niche that's going to make you, it's going to really, really blow you up. And I'm glad that Tom found it. I'm happy for him.
That's actually my next question. I'm sure it's going to be a question that we get in chat is how long do you give it before you say, okay, this niche isn't working, I need to look again? I guess length isn't necessarily the right thing.
Yeah.
How much content do you put out before?
Yeah, so that's, I don't know. So I do have an answer I tell clients, but it's one of two things. So number one, if you want to really try a niche and it's something that's like your greatest passion in life or one of your top 3 passions in life, you should try making content within that niche for at least 60 days minimum to try it.
I like that.
If it's one of your personal passions and it's like the thing that like, if you could make content about that and like be a really happy person in life, then try it at least for 60 days, maybe even 90 days and see if you can get traction with it. Try new titles, try new thumbnails, try shortening up the format, try looking at the analytics and seeing if you can improve it. And if it doesn't break through after about 90 days, it's possible that niche, it isn't the time for you to hit that niche and you should go test something else if you're in a place where you have like no traction at all. Now, the other qualifier, so 60 to 90 days, the other qualifier is if you're making content about something and you just run out of motivation to make content about it, then just stop. Because that's clearly not a subject that you're passionate enough about to keep it going in the long term. Like if you make 5 videos about something and then you run out of juice on that topic, just stop. Because if you're struggling to make 5 videos on it, what if you had success? Then you're going to struggle to make 10. You're going to struggle to make 50. You're going to struggle to make 500 to make a business out of that. So if you ran out of juice on that topic immediately, that's not the right topic for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. That was a great answer, actually.
Not only do you need to experiment in terms of trying to find your niche, but then when you have something that you're kind of narrowing down to, you also have to experiment within that niche as well, trying different things. I don't think you can try. I agree with the 60 days. Like you at least want to give it more than a month, but 60 days is definitely a good kind of benchmark. But you don't want to be trying the exact same thing for those whole 60 days. That's not going to tell you a whole lot. If you're testing a new niche, you need to try different types of angles, different types of content themes, using your research, using TubeBuddy for different topics. Try a range of topics during that time in the beginning to see if a range of different topics can stick. And if after those 60 days, if you've tried a lot and you can't come up with more, then I think you can probably move on. To a degree, it's kind of hard sometimes. Like you kind of know it when you run into it. It can also be hard to describe sometimes. Like you know when you run out of steam with it. You can kind of sense after a long period of time that it's not going to do much anymore. And that's the kind of period where you can begin to move on.
That makes sense. And Perrin, can you tell them about not only the diversity of topics, but also the diversity of platforms really quick and our partner Restream.io and how releasing the content on multiple platforms can help you figure out your niche, not just on YouTube, but everywhere.
Right. So yeah, I wasn't even adding that into this whole thing, but if you're only testing your niche on one platform, it might not work there. It could work on another. A great example for me is, and I always come back to this, as you all know, but Mobile Legends. So it gave me some traction on Facebook Gaming, and it gave me some traction on Twitch at the same time. I did not get traction on YouTube. I did not get traction like pretty much anywhere else. But as I tested it over time, I did get traction on YouTube. There was actually stuff there to get, which I would not have known if I had just done Facebook or if I had just done one other platform. So just because it doesn't work on one platform does not mean it's not going to work on another. So if you want to do really effective, time efficient testing, you need to multi-stream to all of them. Then you're testing all of them simultaneously. You're planting more seeds across the internet to see if something's going to work. And then you can pick and choose and follow the growth. You can pick and choose and follow the traction that you get. So Restream is extremely important. This is why they're a sponsor of us. This is why we support them so much. So we have a link we can drop in the video description. If you guys want to be using this tool, and I highly recommend that you do for your testing, you'll save yourself a ton of time. So use our discount, which is a 25% off.
It's a 30% off right now, and it's drop one now. It's drop one. All the other discount codes are broken now because people rip them off because we're so popular. So now it's drop one, DROP1 for 30% off. Thanks for that, Perrin. So really quick, I want to show you my own channel as an example. So Perrin just brought up the example a moment ago of him covering Mobile Legends and multi-streaming to figure out that Mobile Legends was going to be the bigger game for him. But I would argue that Andrew Perrin hasn't found his niche yet. He just found something that performed better than his other content. And I am an example of that too, actually. So do you mind pulling up my YouTube channel? And I can show you, if you pull up my channel and then you just sort by, let's say, most popular videos. I'm going to analyze myself right here and show you guys what the deal is. And so if we look at my most popular videos, I've got a couple that are approaching 1 million views. Hundreds of thousands in some cases. And if you look at which niche has kind of been working for me, it's tutorial videos in particular. And I've just kind of accepted this fact recently, where when I walk through people through content and I do a tutorial, those are the videos that get the most traction. Facebook gaming, which webcams are best, how to put hashtags above your video, how to use OBS, things of that description, related to gear and software. So that's the niche that has performed better for me than others. And I discovered all of these niches using the research methods that we've been talking about. But as you can see on my channel, I've experimented with other niches too on my channel, including gaming. Like there's a Hearthstone video on there where I opened up a bunch of packs. There's some Overwatch content in my most popular videos, Anthem videos. As you can see, I've been shifting topics over time to try to find a niche that really consistently delivers views for me. And I would say I've found niches that are better than others, such as software tutorials and gear tutorials and what have you. But I haven't found one particular niche for my channel that just consistently delivers huge views back to back to back to back to back. And so I will continue to experiment on my own channel to find that. And you guys should keep that in mind. Just because I've made it, just because I'm already full-time doing this sort of thing, and I know you want to be full-time as well, doesn't mean that I found some ultra mega, end-all be-all niche for my own content even, that has really worked for me. And so this is something that you should always be a student. You should always be working on finding the next big thing for your channel. And if you aren't just completely seeing explosive growth on your channel and with your online business, you probably haven't found like the niche yet that really makes or breaks you. And it could take years. I've been doing this for close to 10 years. For my personal brand, have not found that yet. For the businesses I've run, I found that for the businesses I've run or had ownership stake in, but I've never found that for myself. So keep that in mind. If you're being impatient after working for 2 months or 6 months or something, and you haven't found it, 10 years here. Okay? So keep that in mind. And if you want me to help you one-on-one, I do offer a one-on-one coaching service. If you want me to help you find your niche and help you do the research one-on-one with you using Google Trends, TubeBuddy, talking it through with you. I've done this with so many YouTubers at this point. It's ridiculous, hundreds. And I've helped so many of them go full-time. You can schedule one-on-one coaching with me at awoldigital.com. I can walk you through it. I can help you find the highest probability niches for your channel. We can come up with a game plan of the type of content you want to create. And if you scroll down the page on awoldigital.com, you can go to my scheduler tool and you can just choose your day choose your time, and then you just literally book me right there, and boom, I'm on a video call with you, helping you grow your channel and coming up with the best strategy instantly. Boys, final thoughts on this.
Keep experimenting. When you're a newer creator or you're not even medium-sized yet, that's your time to just experiment and try tons of new things. That is the formula that we've seen again and again for success. That's what we're offering here as advice. So I want to see all of you do it. All of you.
Yes, the goal of doing that 20% and the 80% rule is to eventually make that 20% your 80%. So keep focusing on the 80-20 rule. I think that's one of the most effective things that you can take away from not only this episode, but maybe even this show. Find your niche, but be patient about it. It will come. It may take 10 years. It may take a month. Hell, you may be able to find it after 2 hours of doing some research and everything starts hitting. But don't give up. Stay with it. Continue being passionate, and you'll hit. Eventually, it's going to hopefully hit for you.
Make your 20% your 80%, your 80% your 20%, and become the top 1%.